Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another fight night. This is number 20, guys. We're at the big 2-0 now, 20 weeks in a row and counting. And we're glad
hmm
you guys can be with us today, right after WCS. So, more awesome StarCraft to follow. We got a great lineup today here on hitbox.tv/slash Team Gravity. I'm Droopy, and I'm joined by my co caster here, Jack Attack. How's it going, my
Hey, man.
friend?
Awesome. So good. I'm like loaded up on coffee and ready to cast some StarCraft.
That's awesome. Really awesome stuff. Now, this lineup. It's
It's
got some pretty cool
pretty
players
good.
in it. Well, I thought last week, we had it pretty good with Tajin versus Parting, and that was a really good 7 game series. But man, Jack Attack, what do you think
Well,
about the players we have?
I don't know. You know what the thing is? Like Tasia versus Parting, right? Parting was the favorite, and then Tasia brought it to game 8. It's like, whoa,
Yeah,
what's gonna happen? I think in this kind of a scenario for our main fight, Hero definitely the favorite. But again, who knows? Who knows? We might get another like crazy series out of it. First off, though, we've got Miso versus WaKa. Miso, who I believe is teamless right now, uh,
yes.
and WaKa from Team Gravity. So, can you tell us,
hmm
as a Team Gravity insider, anything about WaKa?
Actually, not so much. He's a relatively new member of our team, so I'm,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a fact-finding mission as well to see what this guy's made
Nice.
of. Apparently, he is from Spain and is a Grandmaster player on EU. So
Excellent.
we'll see what he can do against the former Korean Terran from KT Rolster. And then the next series, we're going to be having Gamja now on Team Gravity versus Apocalypse. And that's interesting because both these guys used to be on IBD together last
Ah,
year. So that's going to be interesting because these guys probably familiar with each other, and it'll be another best of 5 there. And the last one, oh man, you talked about this a bit, Jack Attack. It's gonna be good.
it's gonna be real good. Hero right now, not to pump him up too big, but Hero right now is in most people's like top 4 StarCraft players on the earth right now. So really exciting to see him play the TVP matchup, which is going to be really cool. Next up, we do have the TVZ. Most recently, not to show any of my bias, but Violet did do some pretty cool Swarm host stuff in WCS. Did end up falling out, but he came in and he grabbed like I think it was anywhere between 6 and 8 Swarm hosts, but he knew the exact amount that he needed, and he would run around and just like go around sniping command centers with his Swarm hosts here and there, and they ended up winning out 2-0 in his first series, and in the end, he ended up getting knocked out 1-2. But it was pretty wild, and it sort of got me wondering: is that something? I mean, that's obviously the intention. Blizzard said this is what we want the Swarm host to do, but I'm wondering if that's just like he caught him by surprise and it worked once, or if that's something that'll catch on.
Yeah, I mean the design of the new swarm hosts, the new locusts in particular, seem to
Mm.
suggest that that is a great way to use them. But of course, the tricky thing is when do you make them? Because you have to decide if you want to make units that are to be used with your main army, or you want to make
Mm.
these swarm hosts, which are still pretty expensive to do
Oh
just
yeah.
those kinds of harassments. So I don't know if that's going to come into play here. We do have a couple of Zergs versus Terran, in fact, in these first 2 preliminary series. So
hmm
we'll see how that goes. So, as we are about to get started with the first series between WaKa and Miso, just want to talk to you guys about uh, the reason why we are able to have these fight nights every week. We're sponsored
hmm
by Hitbox.tv, the streaming service you're watching right here. If you're seeing this on Team Liquid, guys, make your way over here to hitbox.tv/slash Team Gravity, where you'll see in the chat that we have a huge party going on here, a nice little poll that's built into the streaming system, which we'll talk about as we get into game number 1. And here we go. We're about to load game 1. It's going to be on Coda LE.
Team Gravity presents Fight Night!
Y'all ready for this?
Is the video being played? Okay, all right. All right. right, everybody, here we go. The first series of the day. It's a best of 5, as always, for the preliminary rounds for a nice, cool prize of $10. We are going to have a TVZ here today, starting with Coda LE, game number 1. On the upper left-hand side is going to be the Blue Terran, currently teamless, but most recently associated with KT Rolster. It is the South Korean Terran player, guys, by the name of Miso.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of our screen, we have the in-house Team Gravity's Red Zerg, WaKa.
So this is going to be just something new for a lot of us. I mean, not just me and you, Jack Attack, but also the viewers, because I haven't really seen much of WaKa before. We know what we're getting with Miso. We've seen him play. He streams a lot these days because he is teamless, and there's no restrictions on that from the team he's on or whatever. But we know what we're getting from him. He's a pretty decent player. He's currently playing a lot on NA. He's one of the top GMs on this server. We are playing on NA server, by the way, guys. But WaKa, gonna be quite a mystery from him. I have seen a couple games out of him in a couple cups. We had the Oceanic StarCraft Championship Cup on Friday. WaKa played a few games in that, but otherwise, gonna be a mystery to me.
Yeah, relatively newcomer to the tournament scene as far as what I've been keeping up on. As far as North America goes, I always trust in Ravi though, Fear Dragon. So if he were around, I'd be like, hey, Ravi, how new is WaKa? And he'd be like, oh, you know what? WaKa played one tournament 2.5 weeks ago, and that was actually his first, and he would go off on a crazy tangent because he knows every single North American player ever to play in a tournament ever. But personally, not quite on that level. WaKa spelling it with 1K instead of 2, like the Final Fantasy X character, so, not sensing a direct link up there, which is moderately unfortunate because it was one of my favorite games going along. We do have, I believe, what looks like a hatch pool here, and just sort of pretty relaxed stuff here. Most likely going to move into a reactor Hellion. We won't exactly have enough gas for Reaper when this barracks finishes. So yeah, there's the Marine.
Yeah, it's a CC first opening, which of course is, I'd say, a little greedy-ish, given that it is Coda LE, kind of small map. And he's not going to open with Reaper here, like you said. So a lot of times Terrans do like to open with Reaper on Coda just because of that second entrance to the main base. But looks like Miso is more concerned about just getting as much mining done as he possibly can here. WaKa is mining gas, so his planning must be to have speed at some point, but actually maybe not. He isn't getting it yet, but he's already at 192 gas. There it is. He's going with a Roach here, so I'd have to say that's a pretty aggressive play here from WaKa, sounds like.
Yeah, well, he is getting speed.
Okay.
If he didn't get speed at all, I would be like, whoa, this is really weird. So he is getting speed and continuing to mine gas, so we might have a nice little sort of 2-base pressure build. We'll have to see exactly how many more gases get taken as far as that's concerned. But yeah, Miso just going for this, just like really, okay, I'm gonna build the bunker blind. He's like completely in the dark here, and you just say, I know that I'm safe from absolutely everything. I'm gonna open up this way, and you're not gonna do anything about it. I'm just gonna come in through. Reactor Hellions will come out. Wow, even going through a third CC. This is a pure greed build right here.
Yeah, both players are doing the exact opposite as far as strategy. So we see 8 Roaches on the way here from WaKa. And this is that Roach speedling timing on only 1 gas. He's going to cut drones here, stay on 23, it looks like, for a while. And he's just going to start pumping out Roaches, use up the gas he has, and then have follow-up with speedlings. It's a strong all-in here. We'll see if Miso can hold it, because he did do the ultimate greed build. Let's see if WaKa can finish it.
Oh yeah, this is going to be really, really difficult for Miso to deal with. It's going to take some incredible micro decision making, and he sees the Roaches right now, so he's going to have to respond immediately as the Roaches are streaming across the map. Speed is done. The follow-up speedlings will come in right now, 20 on the way, and he's sort of just cleaning up these Hellions, a little bit of stuff. But he's got 1 bunker. Like, what is he going to do against this? He's got Marauder coming out now. That'll help. Stim is very far away. He's just building his 2 secondary barracks now. He's got almost nothing. This repair needs to happen. He does get the SCVs there in time, but it is being focused down. A lot of burst damage. He's finally beginning to go and hack away at those SCVs, making sure he's target firing them. But this is looking like a hold pretty much so far. Here, I think just a little bit, not enough target firing on these SCVs to begin with, but more and more Lings are streaming in here. This bunker is the main point of contention. If it goes down, it'll be really scary. Really nice Hellions here. Really, oh wow, what a defense.
Yeah, that was really excellently done. And you're right, just not enough target firing on the SCVs. I mean, because even if you can't break through, if you can still kill a lot of those workers, that's pretty good damage done. But otherwise, this is a bad situation now because Miso's on 3 base. He's about to get a 3rd orbital, and WaKa just cut a lot of his economy to make that attack happen. So what's going to happen in the next few minutes is going to be real tough for the Zerg to get through.
Yeah. Well, and he just tried to drone up a bit behind it, but we have a lot of Hellions coming out. Miso's got complete domination of the map, and the problem is that even if he survives this attack, he's going to be in a rough spot. But here he goes. He's moving in. Oh my god, all the drones are lining up. This is really, really close. He's getting a couple kills, 7 so far. Looking really nice. Nice micro. Manages to block off that ramp. Excellent defense there by WaKa, saving as many drones as he can and getting that 3rd up. But like we talked about before, this is just really, really difficult when the Terran player has all this map control and they have that 3rd base already up, dropping mules, making workers. It's just incredibly difficult for WaKa to catch up. Now, keep in mind that is not an impossible feat. We're going to have to keep our eye on WaKa here for what exactly his plan is to dig himself out of this problem.
He's going with the lair right now. Has to get that ASAP. I mean, if he's going to continue with Roach here, he needs speed. If he's not going to continue with Roach here, he needs Buda. Basically, he needs to get to tier 2 ASAP. Obviously, he needs to build up his economy as well to support that. Right now, he's on the same number of workers as Miso, and his 3rd is close to finishing, so he's going to have that at his disposal when it comes to increasing that worker count. Workers killed on both sides, very even. It's 9-9. But again, Miso has been on 3 base longer. He has been dropping the mules from them. So I'd say his economy right now is still better than what WaKa's is.
Oh yeah, and it's really easy to be deceived and say, oh well, you know, they both got 3 bases, they both have about equal worker counts. But when you're a Zerg, you want more bases, you want like a bigger worker count almost all the time. When you're a Zerg and you're even with a Terran like this, it is not a good position at all.
No, it really isn't. And it does look like WaKa is going to commit to some kind of ranged unit, probably the roaches that we've been seeing, because he is researching +1 range attack and melee on those evolution chambers. He's going to keep pace here with Miso as far as the upgrades go. 1-1 for Miso as well for Bio. And yeah, Hydraless Den is now down for WaKa, so he wants to go with Roach Hydra here. Does he have the time to get the units he needs, though, to defend?
Well, we got this push coming across the map right now. He does scout it coming. He's got a few units on the way, but in general, this defense is very sparse. These units are going to have to come out just in time, and unfortunately, he will be engaging before his upgrades finish.
Yeah,
unless install for a lot of time, but yeah, I don't think so.
The critical upgrade missing here is Roach speed, and a couple Roaches die immediately as they pop from the 3rd. Now the 3rd is in a lot of danger. Drones are going to be focused down briefly as WaKa's getting his Roaches over here to try and...
Oh my god.
Oh man, we're seeing a lot of these drones traveling away and getting fired. All of them die except for just a couple, and these Roaches are struggling right now to handle this Marine.
Amazing position.
GG.
Miso capitalizes and takes the win there.
Yeah, he knew he had to hit then, because WaKa was going to be trying to, you know, tech really hard to catch back up, and Miso made sure to finish the game, or at least do some real good damage before that could happen, and he ended up just going ahead and winning it. So, well done for him there.
I mean, and that game was pretty much won and lost in that initial attack from WaKa there that did not work out. Unfortunately, Miso would just like, and it just shows like what a great game Miso had there, going for that super greedy build, all those command centers, and still being able to hold just a really great hold there, and then knowing exactly how to capitalize on the fact that, you know, that attack, that early attack failed from WaKa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, usually, to hold it all in from Zerg, you need more than just one bunker, 4 Marines, and a handful of Helmets. But somehow, some way, Miso managed to pull that off. So it was just smooth sailing for the rest of the game there. This time around, we're moving into Iron Fortress LE. This time, I'll have to imagine that WaKa may try to play a little more macro-oriented here.
Yeah, you got that bigger map going on. You also, you always have this meta play where it's like, there's no way he'll cheese in a 4-player map, and it comes in much more risky. But, hopefully I would really like to see some macro play out of WaKa to see, what kind of a level WaKa's on. Miso just, made him look horrible, and we want to give him a shot here to show his high-level plays, his true skill here. And we do have spawning in the top left, seeking to regain his honor for games lost past. It is the Red Zerg from Team Gravity, WaKa.
And on the upper right-hand side, close position, spawning is the blue Terran player, who's currently up 1-0 and looking to push that lead to 2-0 for a nice match point game next. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have here Miso. Now, last game, both players opened up base first, so expand first. And that was a small map. So I'd have to imagine on a big map, that might be even more tempting to do.
That's it, 14cc into mass battle cruisers probably coming up here from Miso. It's a classic on this map. Everyone really likes it. No, but yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll see a little bit more greed. Nothing too crazy coming out of WaKa just yet, but then of course the craziness all did come last game, far after the point. But you did say close positions, and are the horizontal positions closer than the vertical positions on this map, or is it only just is it cross or is it up, or is it close kind of a thing?
Oh, close is just closer than diagonal, but I think it's even. It's a square map, so
yeah.
I mean, I would have said
I've never
close
tested
position
it myself.
even if they were vertical.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I meant though. Sort of like I didn't know if whether the vertical and the horizontal were the same or different.
Doesn't appear that way.
Yeah, they look about the same, which is nice. I prefer maps to like these in comparison to the Inferno Pool style. Just as a player.
I can agree with that. So we are looking at a Marine first here from Miso. He does have a gas, and he is going to have 50 now. Is he spending it on a Reaper? Doesn't look like it. Just finishing up a second Marine.
Yeah, just going Marines into factory, I would assume, right? No,
Yeah,
into reactor.
Huh. Yeah, so it's going to be reactor, probably followed with a factory afterwards. So I guess this is for him to just get a little more tech out quicker with that gas mined as opposed to getting a Reaper. Which is interesting, because a lot of times players will get Reapers on big maps just because it's a lot faster to scout the opponent. Because you can kind of see Miso here struggling with that first SCV here. Unfortunately, sending it in the wrong position clockwise. Going to be a while before he finds what WaKa's up to.
Yep, got a couple of Marines out on the map, scouting around for Overlords. Always nice when you can get an Overlord picked off. But no Overlords to be found just yet. But, it's always nice to see a little bit of due diligence, making sure everything is all gravy. And it is. There is gravy abound.
Yeah. Interesting that Miso's second Overlord, he didn't send it out of the base. It's just kind of chilling in that corner. I think he's more concerned about maybe seeing if a unit moves up that ledge, if it's like a Reaper or something. But there's no Reaper, so it's not really an issue. So yeah, I mean, Miso here. Did he ever find WaKa? I mean, by process of elimination, I suppose. Yeah, but never actually saw what was there.
Yep. WaKa going in there, trying to get some scouting. He does scout the number of Marines, which is a very useful thing to scout. That'll help him know what the timing was for the command center. He knows it's not command center first with that number of Marines out this early. And you can get a good feel for exactly what's going on. Going to go ahead and respond to that by taking a third, looks like.
Yeah. With that, WaKa is, you know, he's going to be up a base briefly because Miso isn't taking a third. He's going into Starport here. Is there a tech lab on that barracks? No, it's not. So it's going to be just a drop here from Miso. Going to go with Marines on the through the air, and then Hellions on the low ground. And this is a good play here because these two guys are relatively close. So Medevac doesn't have a long distance to travel, and Miso does have a chance here to make some noise.
Yeah, he's going to come through with these Hellions here. Scout that there is indeed a third upcoming. He knows the lay of the land before this drop is going to come through. Overlord's in the drop position, not particularly far out. That does make them safer, but it does give them a little bit less time to react. But then, of course, I don't know. Where would you drop here? I mean, do you make the sort of... There's not really much of an elevator area as there are in other maps. He's going to run through with 4 Hellions here.
I mean, I think at this point in the game, and you know, given what you can assume about Overlord spread, you can't really get too fancy with it. So if anything, looks like Miso here is just going to bring them all together and not do
just going right
attack at all,
directly to the face. Ooh, these queens a little bit out of position here. Nice focus fire, and oh my god, oh man, catch them before they drop those transfuses. Big deal there. That is a big part of that early defense for Zergs, all those queens, and oh, none of these banelings are gonna get up. Oh my god, this is absolutely brutal. Turns out Zerglings are pretty bad against Hellbats, and this is going to be GG, Miso.
Yep.
Whew.
Basically, when the queens going down was already rough, but once the banelings were all canceled, it was over. Yeah, it was 100% over. You cannot beat that attack without banelings if you don't have Roach. So, yeah, that was unfortunate there how it played out for WaKa.
Yeah, I mean, Miso first game, he's like, I can defend. Second game, I can also attack. Third game, I don't know what he's going to do. We'll definitely find out here. As you know, WaKa's, he's trying to figure out how to deal with this player. Very strong mechanical player. Like you said, was on a Kespa team for a long time. He's got those solid roots to fall back on, and he plays like a maniac. So, this is definitely, a challenging matchup.
Yeah, I mean, down 2-0 is obviously a rough spot. It is going to be match point, but I have to say this again because it's always come true. Doesn't matter how much you're down by in Team Gravity Fight Night. Everyone always, well, not everyone, but most people always manage to turn it into a comeback of some kind or close to a comeback in an ace match. So we'll see if WaKa can make it happen here. This is his last chance.
Map that Terrans oftentimes enjoy. Wonder if we'll get to see some mech, which would be fun. I can attack, I can defend, and I can mech, Miso may say. And spawning on Vonnie Research Station in the bottom center of the screen. He's looking to make a comeback here. He's got to find an edge against Miso. It's Team Gravity's WaKa.
And against him, Korean Terran up 2-0 right now and potentially ready to close out this game here, this series, in this game number 3. Teamless, but still hustling. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Miso.
Would you say it's fair to say that every day he's hustling? Pretty much, or is it kind of like an every other day kind of a thing for him?
He streams a lot. I don't know if that's every day, but he has really been trying to build up that Twitch crowd, and it's really it's cool to see that. I mean, sometimes a lot of players, when they're in Kespa teams, the Kespa teams are like, oh, you can't stream, and they have all these restrictions for all kinds of things. Even playing in Fight Night, for instance, it's harder oftentimes to get Kespa players to participate, although credit to the Team Gravity management for being able to do that. Having a lot of prime players, for instance, play here and stuff. But yeah, I'd say he's hustling every day.
every day. Maybe sometimes, not so much StarCraft, but he's hustling otherwise. But yeah, he's he's been a strong player for a long time. It'd be really nice to see him, you know, either land a team or just, you know, some personal sponsorship, or, you know, it's just something to get him going in his career. I mean, maybe even just, you know, supporting himself via streaming, but that can be very hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. 15 hatch here from WaKa going into pool gas. So same opening all 3 games. He hasn't really changed it up. But Miso has always been changing it up. Like you said, Jack, I can attack, I can defend. He really is trying to show his versatility here. This time he's going to open with Reaper. First time we're going to see that out of him today.
What do you think? 5 racks Reaper incoming? Oh, yeah. I'm feeling it.
Yeah,
2
when players
Reapers
are
so
up
far.
2-0 in match point, you never know.
Yeah.
They might just go for something crazy.
I think that's the scariest part about being down 0-2 is that you know your opponent can do absolutely anything with very little risk. You know, they can throw away 2 games and still beat you. Whereas you have to win every single game, so you cannot take any chances. So far, he's going for the 2 Reaper. Maybe just stick to 2, but getting a little nice bit of harassment here. Ooh, gets a drone. That is not going to be good for the mentality of WaKa. Very, you know, this is that magic dance where nothing dies and micro is had everywhere. But when you start losing drones, not only is that bad for your economy in a little way, but a lot of times it's very difficult to deal with mentally. Oh my god, and he's going to get 2 drones. Second Reaper coming in here on the way. We do have speed, and he's rebuilding his drones. The Queen is going to help out a lot, but this is still a difficult spot. He's going to run in. I think he's going to try to kill another drone, and he almost gets it. Pulls it out last second. Is that Reaper going to escape? Of course it's going to escape. It's a Reaper. That's what Reapers do.
Yeah. Well, with the Queen finally out, though, WaKa is going to be able to stabilize here against the Reaper. Losing 2 workers, obviously not ideal for him. He is working on getting speed right now.
3 Reaper, though. He did go all go ahead for the 3 Reaper. Usually it's between 1 and 3 Reapers. Obviously 3 the most aggressive. And not too many units here to deal with this 3 Reaper attack. Even the Queen, you know, if there's only one of them, the other Queen is down at the natural, this can be really difficult to deal with. As we're seeing now, the Ling's getting picked off, and he's forced to build more Lings in response. But, I mean, he might even get this Queen here.
Yeah, that second Queen needs to get to the battle ASAP. And with that, should be okay here. 2 out of 3 Reapers are kind of weak now, so at the very least, Miso will need to wait a bit for them to heal. And then, of course, the 3 Reaper opening does cover for the 3rd CC that is currently in production here for Miso. And he's going to play very macro in this game. I mean, he is up 2-0, but he just wants to play it standard. So no 5 racks Reaper or anything like that.
Yep. Yeah. It's it is the middle road, you know, the middle way, as it were. And the cool thing, the part that I love about going 3 Reaper is that, first of all, you get to be aggressive. You get to go in there, try to get some kills, maybe catch a Zerg off guard. But second of all, these Reapers stick around and they work. They have really good synergy with the Hellions. They're running through, going ahead and, you know, trying to deny this. You know, maybe droning up at this 3rd base. It's pretty hard to kill a hatchery with Reapers and Hellions, but it does happen from time to time. And just putting the Zerg in a difficult spot here, as more Hellions, as well as Banshees and Cloak, on the way.
Yeah, and the other beautiful thing about keeping those Reapers alive is not just attacking like this, but you have almost total map for a long time. Your Lings just can't take towers.
One Queen down.
Queen dies. That's pretty big. A second one's about to die as well.
Oh, this is really a rough scenario over here.
Deal with this. These Lings dying before they can even get shots in or claws in, I guess you could say, on these Hellions.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is not good right here.
It's got the Spore Crawlers on the way, which is nice. Well, one Spore Crawler on the way, which is nice. Anticipating this Banshee. But just the force in the ground is really, really difficult to deal with here. Actually going ahead and building another Spore Crawler out in the front, where he's going to try to, but, I mean, even the Queens are not enough to deal with this force right now.
Yeah, it's not. 10 Lings are in production, another data coming up, but look, I mean, these are coming in 2 at a time like it's Noah's Ark or something, and they're dying. This is not exactly how you want to defend against Hellions here. If you want to use Lings, you have to have a good amount in surround.
Oh, and that Banshee coming in. this might be even the nail on the coffin. This force is just spiraling out of control. And like I said, you don't often see Hellions and Reapers killing a hatchery, but this might be one of those times where we see that happen. The Lings, like you said, coming in 2-4 at a time. Not a lot of coordination going on here. An amazing micro from Miso, just pulling back the weakened Reapers, pulling back the weakened Hellions just at the right time. And this just incredible amount of damage going on here. And oh my god, all right, we're down to 100 hit points. This is so close to going down. And oh, yep, he's absolutely going to get it here. And that's going to spell GG Miso. Takes up a really fast 3-0. That was, you know, he just put on a clinic. He was just, this is how you TVZ. Watch out.
Yeah. Generally, like you said, Jack Attack, the third is not supposed to be lost to that follow-up attack. I mean, usually the Terran will soften it up, but they really have to wait for that Banshee to come before they can actually get in legitimate damage. But somehow, some way, Miso was able to make it work. I guess just, you know, not enough Lings. They weren't being banked up. It just, I don't know.
Well, I think too, just like the paying attention to the very small micro and keeping all of his units alive. All three of those Reapers stayed alive the entire time, and they got drone kills. All those Hellions stayed alive for a long time, very individually microing back, keeping everything going on, and that allowed him to sort of snowball his force to a point where it was just impossible to deal with.
Yeah, indeed, that is the case. So rare shutout here on Fight Night, but
it happens.
It is.
It's
cool
this is real life.
For Miso. It does happen. And Miso's $10 richer now, so congratulations to him. And we are going to move into the second series very shortly. It's going to be Gamja versus Apocalypse coming right up. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to take a short break.